Hey y'all, it's Stitch It with Sarah. I am going to answer some of the most frequent asked questions. I started sewing because my daughter was interested in sewing and she got a sewing machine for Christmas. I had no idea how to use the sewing machine, so I looked up some videos and taught myself how to use her sewing machine, and I loved it. So before I started sewing, I thought sewing was going to be not very forgiving activity. But the more that I've sewn, the more that I realize that sewing is actually a very forgiving craft. And you literally don't have to know anything about sewing to start sewing. You don't have to have the perfect setup. You don't have to have all of the things. If you want to start, my first video that I think I ever made is all stuff from the Dollar Tree because I was impatient and couldn't wait. My first oh no moment is whenever my bobbin kept getting tangled up and I literally did not know how to fix it. The sewing problem that frustrated me the most in the very beginning was not understanding my machine and not understanding my bobbin, not understanding that the tension of the machine matters, the way you put your bobbin in matters, if it's upside down or not. I think most of my issues with sewing came from not understanding my machine. Yes, again, the moment that I thought I don't think I could keep doing this is whenever I literally couldn't figure out why I kept bird's nesting underneath my fabric, and so I put the machine up and I called my sister-in-law to come pick it up. Cry. I would Google a lot of things, but I feel like I could never get the right answer. Like, I needed something that would tell me exactly what I was doing wrong, and I feel like Google is like such a wide range of answers that it wasn't exactly what I needed. It was like what I needed sugar-coated, and I needed it to be more direct because I had no training or knowledge of sewing. My tears flowing from my cheeks. The idea of Sew Helpful came up because I needed help with my projects and I couldn't find the answer that I needed online, and so my husband created Sew Helpful so I could directly take a picture of what I was having an issue with, and 9 times out of 10 it was a bobbin issue. I could take a picture of exactly what it was that I was doing wrong and then put it into the app, and it literally told me exactly what I needed to know. One thing about sewing is that you're gonna spend a lot of time seam ripping, but your project's still gonna come out the way that you expect it to. Just because you mess something up, I've only been sewing since January, but even if you mess something up, it's not ruined. You can still fix it, and that's something that in the beginning I would do projects and I would mess them up and I would just throw them away instead of like taking the time to rip the seam out and redo it. Okay, I would tell a beginner who just started sewing to check and see if your bobbin is upside down, because 9 times out of 10 that's the issue. And if you're having an issue with your machine or bird's nesting, rethread your machine, take everything out and start over, and that it's okay to turn your sewing machine off and start again another day. I'm laughing because it's all about the bobbin, but it's true. So the moment I realized that Sew Helpful was like the real deal is whenever I couldn't figure out what was wrong with my machine. It was just so bad. I kept doing it and doing it and doing it. I could not figure it out. I took my bobbin out, I put my bobbin back in, I rethreaded my machine, I cleaned it, I oiled it, I did everything. And finally I took a picture of the stitches, so I keep a piece of fabric back here behind my sewing machine, and I took a picture of the stitches on the scrap fabric, and it literally told me your bobbin is probably, more than likely, upside down. So I'm like, interesting, I didn't know that. I took my bobbin out, flipped it right side out, perfect stitches. Within a minute, maybe 2 minutes. I think Sew Helpful, it gives you the problem, it describes the problem back to you, and then it gives you steps on how to fix your problem. But if that's not the right problem, it also gives you a couple other things to read. So I feel like more than anything, you spend some time reading. But usually my issue is right at the beginning, so sometimes I don't even read the rest. I think So Helpful is a great tool for beginners to use, because if it's 3 a.m. and you're up sewing late while your husband's snoozing, you can literally put your problem into the So Helpful app, and I can almost guarantee you 99% that So Helpful is going to give you the right answer that you've been looking for on Google. Yes, I think So Helpful would have made things less overwhelming for me in the beginning. I feel like the stressful moments help you appreciate So Helpful, because now I feel like I'm kind of spoiled. 1, because I have an awesome sewing machine, and 2, because I do have the So Helpful app. So if I get really stuck on something, I just pull out my app. Bye, y'all.